Welcome to our deep dive. We're going to be exploring learning visualizations.
Such a fascinating topic.
It really is. I mean, we all learn, but have you ever thought about what that learning process actually looks like?
Yeah, that's true.
Today, we're going to be looking at the work of Matlina Laakso.
A Finnish expert in digital pedagogy.
Exactly. And she created a blog post and video all about this bringing the learning process to life visually.
And she's not just talking about one lesson or course, is she?
No.
She's looking at the bigger picture.
Right.
How can we visualize learning processes at different levels?
I love that she's thinking so big. Before we get into specific tools and techniques, maybe we should start with what exactly is a learning process.
Well, Matlina starts her blog with a definition.
Okay.
From a Finnish open educational resource by Han Kohli and Leena Vainio.
Got it.
And they describe it as a planned and goal-oriented process that progresses step by step over time.
Okay, so it's not just randomly absorbing information.
Exactly.
There's actual structure there.
Precisely.
It's like having a roadmap for your learning.
Ooh, I like that.
So we've got a roadmap analogy, but why bother making it visual? Why can't we just follow the steps in our heads?
Well, we can try to do it all in our heads.
Right.
But our brains are wired to process visuals so much faster than just text alone.
I know. We remember images and diagrams way better than just text.
Absolutely. And it's even more than just remembering. It's about understanding complex information, connecting ideas, identifying where you might have some gaps in your knowledge, and also tracking your progress over time.
It's like those before and after photos, but for learning.
I love that.
You can really see how far you've come.
And it can also be really motivating.
Yeah, for sure.
When you can see your progress. It gives you that sense of accomplishment and encourages you to keep learning.
Okay, I'm convinced. Visualizing learning is the way to go, but how do we actually do it? I know Matlina mentions a ton of different tools in her video.
She does.
Which you should definitely check out, by the way, on her blog.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's like a visual feast in and of itself, her video.
It can feel overwhelming at first.
Yeah.
But the key is you don't have to use every tool out there.
Right.
You can just start with what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. So what are some of the simpler tools people might already have?
PowerPoint or Google Slides can be really powerful.
You can do a lot with those.
Exactly. Matlina even suggests using smart art.
Oh, right.
To create diagrams and charts.
And the design ideas feature.
Yes, to make your slides look more visually appealing.
Those are great tips. You don't need fancy software to get started.
You really don't.
But there are more specialized tools out there, if you're interested.
Of course.
What are some of those?
Well, Matlina highlights a few of her favorites. Adobe Express.
Okay.
For creating really eye-catching visuals.
Nice.
And ThingLink, have you heard of that?
I have, yeah.
Which lets you add interactive elements to images. You could create an image that represents a concept, and then clicking on different parts of the image could reveal additional information or videos or even quizzes.
Oh, that's cool. So you're taking a static image and making it dynamic.
Exactly. And then there's Padlet, which is great for brainstorming and visual organization.
I've used Padlet before.
Yeah, you can use it to create timelines, mind maps, collect resources visually.
I'm starting to see how versatile these tools are.
Oh, yeah.
You can use them for all sorts of things.
Absolutely. And we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah.
Matlina showcases even more tools and techniques in her video, so I really recommend checking it out for a deeper dive.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
Perfect.
But for now, let's look at some specific examples Matlina uses to show the power of visualization.
Okay.
She shows two different ways to visualize the same online course.
Interesting. Tell me more. In one, she focuses on the stages of the course.
Okay.
Like orientation, exploration, and application.
So it's like a high-level overview.
Yeah, like a roadmap for the learning journey.
Right.
And then the other visualization, it breaks it down by week.
Interesting.
It shows what activities and assignments are due each week, so it's more detailed and practical, like a weekly planner.
I can see how both would be useful.
Yeah. It just depends on what you want to emphasize.
Right.
It shows the flexibility of visualization.
Matlina also shows some cool examples of how people are using ThingLink.
Oh, yeah.
Like she created this interactive image
to
organize all the course materials.
Okay.
And there were links to readings and videos, all sorts of resources.
It's like a central hub for everything.
Exactly. Instead of searching through files, you just click on the image.
Makes things so much easier.
And then there's that ThingLink postcard example. What was that all about?
Oh, yeah. She used it to guide students through a specific learning task.
It's amazing how she turned a simple postcard into something interactive.
And it wasn't just showing finished products.
Right.
She also shared the process of creating these visualizations.
Like with Padlet.
Yeah. They use Padlet in this training program called Telma.
I've heard of that.
And it was to help students who might not have traditional literacy skills.
That's so important.
They created a visual timeline of the workshop with images and audio recordings.
Such a great way to make learning more accessible.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've seen how visualization can be used for courses, materials, activities, but then Madalena takes us into AI-powered visualization.
Yes. It's pretty mind-blowing.
I know. She shows this tool called Napkin.
It's still in beta, but it's really interesting.
How does it work?
You give it a text prompt like, visualize the benefits of visualization for teachers.
Okay.
And it generates a visual representation of that information.
So it takes words and makes them into pictures.
Pretty much. Of course, it has limitations. It's still in development. It relies on certain templates.
I see.
But it's great for quickly generating visualizations.
Especially if you don't have design skills.
Exact.
It's a great way to get started with visualization.
Yeah. Or just to experiment.
Yeah, who knows what the future holds for AI-powered visualization?
I know, right? It could become so powerful.
Imagine being able to describe a learning process and have AI create a visual for you.
That would be amazing.
But even with all these tools, it's important to remember that technology is just a tool.
That's a good point.
What do you mean by that?
The real magic happens when you combine technology with your own creativity and passion for learning.
So it's not about the technology doing the thinking for you.
Right.
You're using it to enhance your own thinking.
Exactly. And Madalena's work really shows that.
She's not just telling us what tools to use.
Right.
She's inspiring us to think differently about learning.
And to make it more visible and engaging.
Speaking of inspiration, she has a cool call to action at the end of her post.
What is it?
She's encouraging people to submit presentation proposals for the ITK conference.
ITK.
It stands for Interactive Technology in Education.
Oh, okay.
And it's happening in Tampere, Finland in April 2025. She thinks it's a great opportunity to share ideas about visualization.
It would be amazing to see how people are using visualization in different contexts.
It would be like a visual symphony of learning.
I love that.
And it wouldn't just be about finished products.
Right.
It would also be about sharing the process.
Yeah, the challenges, the discoveries.
Which is what learning is all about.
Exactly. It's a continuous journey.
And visualization can help us capture and share that journey.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what will you visualize today? Yeah, it really is about finding the right tools, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not just about pretty pictures.
No.
It's about making the learning process better.
More transparent, more engaging.
More effective.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I was a little skeptical about that whole AI thing.
The AI-powered visualization.
Yeah, it seemed a little too much, you know.
I get it.
But when she showed Napkin,
Yeah.
I started to understand.
How it works.
Yeah, and
And taking that text prompt and turning it into a visual.
It's like having a brainstorming partner who can draw.
And it's not just for finished products, is it?
Right.
You can use it to experiment, to explore.
And it's so easy to use.
Anyone can use it.
Yeah. It's really exciting to think about the future of visualization.
I know, right?
More interactive, more personalized.
That sounds like.
Which brings us back to that ITK conference.
In Tampere.
I think it would be amazing to see presentations from all kinds of people.
Sharing their experiences with visualization.
Yeah. Showing how they're using it in different ways.
It would be so inspiring.
Like a visual tapestry of learning.
Bringing together all those different perspectives.
Yeah. And it reminds us that visualization isn't just about individual learning.
It's about shared understanding.
Using visuals to communicate, to spark conversations.
To inspire new ways of thinking.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
what will you visualize today?
will you make a mind map?
A timeline?
Will you try out Napkin?
So many possibilities.
The most important thing is to just start.
Experiment, play, have fun.
And remember, when you make learning visible, you're not just helping yourself.
You're helping others too.
So go forth and visualize.
Happy learning.